Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Scoreboard. I am your host, Brigham Harris. Today is January 21st, 2022. And just like earlier this week, we are so excited for this little transition period that we're in. I know it's still January, but we are slowly making that transition into the state and region tournaments of our winter sports, which means spring sports is right around the corner, which eventually means that beautiful summertime is right there as well. But again, we've got so much winter sports action to talk about, and that is what we are going to do right here on the Scoreboard. We've got some swimming updates for you. We are still in the heat of basketball. We are still in the heat of wrestling season. But as I mentioned, we have got some tournaments coming up. I'm not just talking regional tournaments, but state tournaments. Really the big two words that high school athletes love to hear, state tournaments. And that means that the biggest competition of a lot of these kids' lives are coming up here in just a few weeks. Notably, let's talk a little bit about it. The Park City Miners hockey team will have their final game of the regular season. That's coming up actually in just a couple of weeks, Wednesday, February 2nd. Luckily, that is a home game, so we will be covering that for you. Again, the final region, the regular season, however you want to call it, before they do head into the state tournament. So we wish them the best of luck. We'll have that update for you here in just a couple of weeks. What things look like for the Park City Miners hockey team going forward. As we take a look at wrestling, however, that's still just under a month away, so still a few weeks to prepare when it comes to the three-headed monster, as we love to say over at Park City High School, that being Jared Miller, Annika Futch, and of course Stone Combs, headed by head coach Todd Combs. They are going to have some serious competition when it comes to the state meet. Not only them, but Wasatch High School with a handful of guys who just got back from the All-Star State Duels. That tournament is also going to be at UVU. That's again February 16th and 17th. So just under a month away, still a few weeks to prepare. So we wish those wrestlers and those teams the best of luck. Also a wrestler and a handful actually out there at South Summit as well. Going to sit down with Coach Sanderson here in probably just a couple of weeks to talk a little about the preparation that his wrestling team is going forward with. As we take a look at basketball, again, still a little bit of time before the state tournament does begin. That'll be the end of February, going through the March Madness era, if you will. And then last but not least, the state swim meet will take place February 18th and 19th. That is a Friday and Saturday meet. So a whole lot of exciting things to come in the world of sports, especially here in the Wasatch Back. Our four main high schools are going to be competing here very soon at the top level when it comes to state tournaments, region tournaments, and all that exciting stuff. Now let's talk a little bit about our four schools here in the Wasatch Back. We've got a handful of them to talk about. Again, mainly South Summit, North Summit, Park City, and Wasatch. Let's take a look at how they did this week. Starting off with Park City High School. Boys basketball, they lost in their earlier game this week, which pushes them to 2-7 on the year. They play tonight at Murray. Very tough Murray team. Same thing with the girls. They play Murray at home tonight. They're also on a bit of a skid as they lost against Highland as well earlier this week, but it seems like everyone is back. Everyone is healthy when it comes to COVID concerns at this point, and so that's very good news. We wish that that Miners team the best of luck, both boys and girls basketball, as they move forward. Let's take a look at Wasatch. Boys basketball 7-9. They're really clawing back from a really rough preseason, but that's what Coach Ballstead told us, is that he did that on purpose. Scheduled very, very tough games at the beginning of the year, playing against teams in the 6A like Weber High School, also with the Rail Salt Lake Academy. Very, very tough games, and they hung in there. As of now, they are coming off of a win against Provo. Very, very strong win, led by Tucker Engelbright, who we are going to talk about here in just a few minutes. Also, they play tonight at Springville. Again, a Friday game, going to be packed house. Very important game for the Wasps as they move forward in region play. The wrestling team actually won a home meet ahead of the region and state tournaments. So very good on them. Coach Disher doing an absolutely fantastic job with the kids over there, leading this program, very historic wrestling program, and they are continuing to perform at such a high level. Also performing at a very high level over at Wasatch is the swim team. They came out victorious in a tri-team meet. That was just last night. We actually got to catch up with head coach Sean Marsing over at Wasatch High School. That interview coming at you here in just a few minutes. Moving on, we're going to keep it going going. North Summit High School boys basketball now 6-8. Their most recent victory against Duchesne High School, and they will play next week. The girls basketball team also a win against Duchesne, and they also won against Gunnison Valley. So North Summit, the Braves, really looking to push forward. The girls actually with the best record when it comes to almost all of our teams and really every single team in that area. Taking a look at South Summit, a little bit of a skid when it comes to boys basketball as well, losing their most recent game, but they're looking to bounce back tonight. Same with the girls team led by very, very talented Reagan Sanderson for the girls side. They also a little bit of a skid these past few games, but looking to bring it back. When it comes to South Summit basketball, you can never count them out. They have so much talent down there at Camas and a lot of size too. We got to chat with one of their bigs, Gibson Walton, here just a couple days ago, and not just him, but Max McKee, who we're going to be speaking with today later on in the show. So that'll do it for our recap in sports for our main four schools. Thanks for tuning in. Right here on the Scoreboard, we're going to be right back. We've got interviews for you with coaches, players, all that good stuff, so you're not going to want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Scoreboard.
The Scoreboard is proudly sponsored by Andrea Cox Mortgage. Welcome to First Rate Mortgage.
My name's James, and I've been in the market for mortgages several times over the years, so I've gone through the process with different people. And when I met Andrea, she explained to me why my current loans were subpar and how she could get better loans with better rates.
If I had to describe Andrea in one word, I think I would use the word passionate. She is very passionate about what she does and getting the right solutions for her clients, and that made her an absolute pleasure to work with.
Hi, I'm Andrea Cox. You can reach me at 435-631-9262. Call me, text me, or you can reach me at my website, andreacoxmortgage.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris. Once again, today is January 21st, 2022, and we have got some awesome content for you today. As we are in the heat of basketball season, it only seems right to continue to talk to all of our super, super talented teams, notably down there in Camas, South Summit basketball, and one player in particular by the name of Max McKee transferred to South Summit last year, was ineligible to play varsity because of that transfer year, but we got to sit down and chat with him. He is averaging an insane stat line. Every single game, the young man has at least one steal, at least one assist, at least 1 point, obviously, and at least one rebound. One of the most well-rounded athletes that we get to cover here in our entire area. So our interview with Max McKee out at South Summit High School coming at you right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Brigham Harris here for the Scoreboard, and right now I'm joined by senior Max McKee from South Summit High School. Max, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Well, let's talk a little bit about it. You guys have had a pretty solid season. You're 12, 13 games in. How do you feel like this first half of your senior season has gone so far?
I think it's gone pretty good. A lot of our players haven't played a lot of varsity in the past, and so we're kind of getting our chemistry down. But so far, we've done a pretty good job of just playing together as a team.
Yeah, you stand out on the stat line. Your box score is incredibly stacked every single other night. Tell me just a little bit about your leadership and the role that you're having to step into now as a senior.
Yeah, I just want to do the best I can to lead my teammates. You know, at the end of the day, I just want to win. And so I do, obviously, everyone wants to get good stats, but I just want to win, you know, and get the state and see what we can do.
Yeah. We definitely have a winner's mentality. A lot of times you see players who are just dying to get to the bucket and they're scoring 30 points a game, but you have steals, you've got blocks, you've got rebounds, you've got assists. What sort of mentality do you go into every game and you're able to come out with that sort of stat line?
Yeah, well, obviously it's my senior season, so I just want to kind of leave it all out there because I know there's no next year, you know? So I just want to do my best and try and take my teammates with me on it, you know?
Not sure if you maybe wrote any goals down or if you have any in your head, but is there anything that you're just like, man, senior year, I want to win state, or I want to win region, or I want a scoring title? What's going on in your mind every night when you go to the games?
I think as of right now, I think I want to win region for sure because that's just short-term goals, but obviously state would be amazing as well. So, but those two are the main for basketball for our team.
Yeah. You've got a little brother on the team. Tell me what it's like playing next to him, because I understand he's a starter as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love playing with him. You know, I'm hard on him sometimes, but I just want the best for him, and it's fun, you know, because we can go home and talk about the game. And yeah, it's awesome playing with him.
Yeah. As far as, leading up to now, this is probably the most competitive basketball you've played. Do you have any memory in the last 12 games where you really got on your little brother's case? Like, man, come on, make a better pass or don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, our last game, actually, we came out we didn't come out too strong, and so I kind of got on his case, but then I realized it wasn't just his fault, so we talked about it after the game. We're good now.
Yeah. I mean, you guys get to go home and talk about, stuff that went wrong, stuff that went right. So at the end of the day, it's some brotherly love, and I definitely know how that feels. Tell me just a little bit about your journey, because I know that you have swapped schools over the past couple of years. Tell me about what South Summit basketball is like, having a pretty fresh view.
Yeah, so I transferred here my junior year, and we got in contact with our head coach now, Mike Osthorpe, and he reached out to us, and we talked to him. We came to the Kirkfield practices and just loved it here, loved the atmosphere, loved the school and all the faculty and everything, the students, and they're all really welcoming. And so I've loved it so far here, and I'm really a great opportunity that I have here to play here.
Yeah. Do you wish you could have played here for more than one?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wish I would have had last year to play varsity. I wish I was eligible, but it's okay. We have this year, so. Yeah.
You're kind of on a revenge tour, so to speak. If you didn't get to play last year, I mean, what's it like getting to lace them up for the first time in probably a little while competitive?
Yeah, it was hard last year because I just had to sit there. I couldn't really help my team out. But this year, I'm trying to, like I said, just leave it all out there and trying to play the best I can, because I know this is it.
Yeah. We have talked already so far a little bit about stats. You're at least 16 points a game. I haven't looked at it exactly. Could be 16 or 17. And again, assists, rebounds, and steals, at least one every single game of this 2022 campaign. What other player on your team, maybe besides your brother, that you love playing with or that makes you a better ball player?
I think just all that whole starting five, and we play 7 guys for the most part, and so just all those 7 guys, I love playing with all of them. They all bring a different attribute to the team, and they all bring different energy. And the guard, I love playing with the guards because they bring energy on defense, and obviously the biggest bring energy too. But I just everybody, I love playing with them all.
As far as the season goes, do you have a favorite game in mind that you just love? It's a fond memory you're always going to have.
Well, our rivals, North Summit, we just played them a few weeks back. And obviously it's fun to beat your rivals, right? And we played pretty well. We got the win, so it was a fun game.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. We've obviously been up and covered all of our schools that are in our area, but what was it like facing off against the Braves and notably Trey Pace, who I imagine you were guarding a handful of times?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a great player. It was fun. It was a loaded place, so it was awesome playing there. Yeah, I had a great time.
Max, let's talk a little bit about your legacy here at South Summit. What do you want to leave as far as your legacy? When people say Max McKee, South Summit basketball player, what do you want to be the first thing that comes to those people's minds?
Yeah, I'd obviously just want to be known as a leader and someone who kind of came here and just wanted everyone to win and wanted the best for his teammates. And I'd like to see a banner up for a state title. That'd be great for the years to come,
Max, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you sitting down with us. We wish you the best of luck here at South Summit. You guys still have a long region road to go. Any last words for us?
No, just thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Max, thank you so much for your time. And again, we wish you the best of luck. If you missed our interview earlier this week with his teammates, that being his brother, Gage McKee, as well as Kelby Thompson, the football star, and Gibson Walton, the big, you can go to thescoreboardnation.com or to our YouTube page and check out that interview. Great group of guys, super funny, and tons of exciting basketball being played out there right now in Camas. And they have an exciting schedule ahead of them leading up to the state tournament. Again, they are bouncing back and doing a great job since region play began. So again, shout out to South Summit basketball, and we will be right back right here on the Scoreboard in just a little bit.
My perfect day. Fresh air, fresh snow. Seamless, like the perfect turn. These are the days I'll remember, spent with close friends at our favorite spot. My perfect day is every day in Park City, and I'm just along for the ride.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris, and today is January 21st, 2022. We are in that awesome, in my opinion, it's awesome, the little period between winter sports, and then we're getting into the state and region tournaments. Very exciting time. We remind you that the state swim meet is coming up in less than a month. That's the middle to end of February. Same thing with the wrestling state championships. Basketball state tournament is going to start soon, and Park City Miners hockey will see state play here in just a couple of weeks, actually. So going back to Wasatch High School and the swim team in particular, if you remember a few weeks ago, we got to chat with head coach Sean Marsing and his star swimmer in Jaden Hicken, who got to attend a national tournament down there in Texas, and he did absolutely great. But now we're talking about really the whole team. They had a tri-team meet last night at Wasatch High School, and our very own field correspondent Brent Martindale, who's always a busy man, great reporter for us, got to hang out after the meet with Coach Sean Marsing, and he talked a little bit about how the meet is going, how the season is going, with just a couple weeks left before the state meet. So with that, we're going to send it out to Brent Martindale and Coach Marsing.
Hey everybody, we are with Sean Marsing, the head swim coach at Wasatch High School. Coach, great meet tonight, congratulations. Let's talk before the meet. Let's talk about your season so far. We had a chance to talk to you earlier. How are things going for Wasatch High School right now?
I feel like they're going well. We are rounding into shape. So we've just started to rest our kids. They still feel really tired, but I think we're in a good place. Our goals this year were to win the men's and women's region titles, so I think we're still in a good place to do that. We have a little bit of work to do. COVID and being sick has obviously thrown a wrench, but I think it's done that to everyone. So
that was the next question. Normally with other teams, you're talking about an injury list. Mm-hmm. With you guys, it's healthy. Has that been a big thing right now with your team?
Yeah, it really has. I've had to learn to adjust. I had multiple messages today of kids that didn't feel well and had to make last-minute adjustments. So we've learned to have a philosophy a lot like a football team, the next kid up. I mean, be ready to go and be ready to fill in the spots that we need you to swim.
So we talked a little, you mentioned a minute ago about resting. Explain a little bit about that, how through your phases of a season, you're at a page where you've been working really hard. Explain that just a little bit.
Yeah, so typical for swim programs, we do at the end what's called a taper phase. We've worked our kids really hard for the last 4.5 months, and now it's time to fine-tune, sharpen that knife, if you will, and rest the kids, work on the little things to make us better. Okay. Some of our boys don't understand everything that's going on, but the more rest they get, the more their muscles heal. So a lot of times we swim really tired. We don't allow our kids a lot of time to recover. And so this is the moment that we're now working on that and getting them really rested.
The idea being that the big meets are coming up. So you have region, you were mentioning earlier, region February, the first week of February, and then state just sometime after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about tonight. A good night. Yeah. Team tri-meet, 2 other teams here. You won handily. How are you happy with the way things are going right now?
Yes and no. And there's always room for improvement. But I think the kids that are needing to swim well, we had some good swims out of them. That being said, the top 32 kids qualify for the state meet, and right now we only have a handful that are in that position. So the kids that needed to swim well, we really had some kids stand up. Most notably, Hank Bird really came through and did a nice job for us in the sprint races. So we have it's opening some more options for us to move some kids around at the region meet and maybe possibly even the state meet, which is good.
So you're planning on having a good number of kids for the state meet, but first it's got to be region. And do kids qualify at region to go to state, or is it an overall thing for the season?
So it's an overall for the season. So region would be your last opportunity to qualify. And that's where really about 85-90% of our athletes, that will be their peak meet, where we want them to swim the best that they've swam all year. And that's what we're working towards, which is because that's what our goal was. Our goal was to win a region title. We want to do really well at state, but our ultimate team goal was to win those region titles this year.
Okay. Sean Marsing, Wasatch High School swimming, boys and girls. Best of luck. Thank you for spending some time with us, Sean.
You're welcome.
Brent and Coach, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time. Again, Brent Martindale doing a great job for us out there at Wasatch High School, hanging out with all of our coaches and a lot of times players, getting some reactions, some great B-roll of the events that we luckily get to attend. So we wish the best of luck to Wasatch swim team as they get ready for the state meet at the end of February, as I got to refer to my notes. 18th and 19th for the state meet is where you can catch the Wasps competing for a state title yet again. As you heard Coach Marsing say, the region title is still up for grabs, but Wasatch looks to be in a pretty good position to take that home. When we come back, we're going to be talking about our athlete of the week, as we usually do right here on the scoreboard, so you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a few.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa, and I've been working in the field of psychiatry for over 20 years. Given that so many patients are resistant to many treatment modalities, I began learning about a procedure called TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation. In my clinical experience, I've run into several patients who are treatment resistant to some of the modalities that we currently use to treat depression, anxiety, and so many other things. That's why I learned more about TMS. TMS is a non-invasive treatment that treats specific regions of the brain involved in mood, anxiety, and thinking abilities. And I love that TMS is well tolerated by most individuals and has very few side effects. My mission as a doctor is to walk with you towards your unique wellness goal. Contact our office to learn more and find out if TMS is right for you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Scoreboard. I am your host, Brigham Harris. And again, today is January 21st. We are almost into the February months. Again, it seems so weird. Once the year begins and you're in the first few weeks of the year, they seem to really drag on. But here, when we're talking about sports, almost every single day, it just flies right by. And I remind you, state tournaments are right around the corner for every single one of our winter sports that we luckily get to cover, mainly the Park City Miners hockey final regular season game is going to be just in a couple of weeks, that in February 2nd on Wednesday. We're excited to be able to bring that action to you here when that does go down. As for the wrestling state championships, those will take place at Utah Valley University February 16th and 17th. Swimming state championships, that state tournament rather, will also be a 2-day tournament, 18th and 19th of February, so still coming up. And last but not least, basketball will see the state tournament here very soon. A handful of our teams are going to be gunning for some of those top spots, top seeds in their region to make it to the state tournament, and we wish them all the best of luck. Now it is time, my friends, for the athlete of the week, and today was a really tough call because obviously I am here, trying to make this decision. We have so many fantastic athletes out there, but one player in particular stood out in my mind, and this was tough. Again, we've got wrestling tournaments, we've got people standing out in swim meets, but for me, this time it's going to go out to Tucker Engelbright, a forward out there at Wasatch High School down there in Heber City, and he did absolutely amazing this week facing off against Provo. Led his team with 22 points, almost a 30-point margin of victory for the Wasps, and like I said earlier in the episode, head coach James Ballstead is doing a fantastic job of crafting these young men to not just be great basketball players, but great people. Persevering through a difficult preseason has been one of the things that he's preached, and guess what? They are the only 2-0 team in region that we cover right now, and they are in first place in their region in Class 5A. So they are doing a fantastic job. Again, Coach Ballstead really scheduling a tough preseason schedule for these kids, but it's players like Tucker Engelbright, who, like I said, 22 points by himself, the top scorer by far in that game, led his team to the second straight win. And again, Wasatch plays tonight. Very excited to see that one go down, and we will have that covered coverage for you next week. But that'll do it for us here on the Scoreboard, our Friday episode. That is going to be a wrap January 21st, 2022. And next week, like I said, we'll have all this action for you, all the coverage that you love to watch, the high schools here in the Wasatch Back, as well as Park City Ski and Snowboard coming up, winter sports, Park City Miners hockey. Man, it is just, we've got a cornucopia of sports here, and we are about ready to dig in. We're just getting started. So thank you so much. If you want to tune in or watch any of our previous episodes, go to thescoreboardnation.com, or you can check us out every Tuesday and Friday on Park City TV at 6 p.m. or 10 p.m. Again, that's Tuesdays and Fridays on PCTV, or our website, thescoreboardnation.com. We'll catch you next time.